you. So please go through them and see the basic things like the theory part. Like what is plane table surveying, we will discuss, but the advantages and disadvantages, these are properly noted down here. Please go through them. Okay. So in plane table surveying, what we will do, we have a very simple equipment. We have this tripod, we have a table, and we have a drawing paper. With the help of that basic instruments, we will draw a map in the field itself. In compass surveying or chain surveying, what we do, we collect the data in the field and then we draw maps, etc. But in plane table surveying, there is no office work. Whatever we do, everything we do in the field only. The map is prepared in the field only. So what are different instruments that we use in the field? So we have this plumb bob. This is plumbing fork. With the help of this, what we do, we transfer the point on the map to the ground point. So plumb bob, we know the plumb bob will point towards gravity. The plumb bob will point towards the ground point corresponding to this point on the map, or the vice versa, or the ground point will be transferred to the map, or the map point, the drawing, in our drawing, whatever the point it is, that point will be transferred into the ground. As per our requirement, we will do that. Then we have elided. With the help of elided, we will sight the objects, we will sight the ranging rod or the signals that are necessary for carrying out the survey work. Then we will have spirit bubble. With the help of spirit bubble, what we will do, we will try to balance the plane table. We will make it perfectly horizontal. So what are the advantages and disadvantages? The biggest advantage is that we do not have to again come back and prepare a map separately. Whatever we are doing in the field, it is prepared, it is being prepared, a map itself there, all right? The data collection and map preparation is simultaneously being done in the field. Then, because we are drawing, we have a chart paper, things like that, we cannot operate in rainy season, things like that. So that will be a disadvantage, very simple things. So those you see from the notes here. I have already shared this with you. If not, I will again share. Okay. Now, just like we did in auto level, we have some temporary adjustment, like we have to set up, we have to center, we have to level. Here also we will have to do the same kind of thing. Okay. Then we will need to see the different methods of plane table surveying. Now, this is important for our understanding. So if you can see this picture, this is the first method that we are talking about. This is method of radiation. We have the plane table or the station of survey at the center, and we have all these points on different directions from the central point. Now we will sight those points from the station point and we will mark the distances on the chart paper. Okay, like this. So we are doing survey work somewhere, okay, in the field, and this is our, say for example, instrument station. Here we will have our plane table. Now this ground point will be drawn in the map, first of all, with the help of the plumbing fork. Then we have different points in our field. So just as the name says, radiation, there will be line from the central point to these points. We will have a ranging rod at this point. We will sight this ranging rod from this point with the help of a elided, and we will measure this distance in the field. Okay, that distance will be converted into a suitable map distance with the help of a scale. 1:50, 1:100, 1:40, 500, whatever is suitable, we will take that value, we will use that value, and we will draw a map here. Okay, so in the ground, this is our A point, say for example, this is our B point, for example. In the map, this is our A point and this is our B point. Like this, we will draw. Then here also we have another point. So here also we will cite first. We will have a ranging rod, which is called signal. So with the help of the ranging rod, we will mark the direction first, and then we will measure the distance, and then suitably we will draw it here. If it is C point, here we will have our C point. Similarly, in all other directions, we will draw our lines. And from there, whatever we have to take, if we have to take data from these points, we can take this data. If there is any necessary informations corresponding to these lines, we can take from these lines. Now, this line can also be used for carrying out contouring works. Now, we already have a basic idea of contour. What is contour? Contour is a line which is having the same elevation. So the same process we can do for carrying out contouring. If this is our plan table, we have different points along these directions. Okay, so from the central station, what we can do, we can go in many directions. All right, we can go in many directions like this. Then at some suitable intervals, say for example at an interval of 4 meter or 5 meter or 10 meter, we will mark some points along these radial lines. Then we will measure the RL of different points along this line. RL of different points along this line, like this. Then with the help of these RLs, we can draw contour maps. So this is a method of drawing contour maps with the help of plan table and the radiation method of plan table survey. Okay. Now, in doing all these things, one thing is very important. I have already told you, you know this already maybe, but still I would like to say once more, the north thing, always marking the north direction corresponding to our work. Because with the help of direction, we will find out everything that is corresponding to this location, okay, corresponding to this place. So whatever we do, we always need the direction, the survey work, to know which way we are going, which way we are doing survey. If it is a building plan, then also we need north direction, because corresponding to the direction, we shall plan our rooms and different. Okay, I'm sorry, there was again some network problem. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So we were talking about this north direction. So north direction is always very important. With the north direction corresponding, we will know all the other directions, right? And then we can plan different things. So I was just giving an example. If it is a building plan, then corresponding to the direction, corresponding to the road, we shall have to plan our building. We shall have to plan our rooms, right? the where should be the bedroom, where should be the kitchen, all those things will depend upon the directions. So the directions, the northing is very important in all kind of surveying. Now, moving ahead, the first method was radiation. We understand, very simple. We have our plane table attestation, and then we have radial lines in all directions or in necessary direction, and then we carry out our surveying. Then we go to the second method. In the second method, this method of intersection. What happens in the method of intersection? We have one point here and we have another point here. So from O1, we are looking towards A and we are drawing this line OA, then maybe towards B, then maybe towards O2. So we have three lines this way. Now when the plane table moves to O2 point, then from there, we will look back at O1 so that the O1, O2 line is correct. Let's try here. So now this method is method of intersection. We have point A here, we have point B here, we have point C here, say for example. So first our plane table is here at this A point. Then from here, we are looking towards the B point. I'm so sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. Okay, now you can see the screen, right? I'm so sorry. So this is method of intersection. We have point A here, point B here, point C here, say for example. A point, this is B point, and this is C point. Now initially what we will do, say for example, we are at point A. We have our plane table here. We will look towards the B point and we will draw the line according to scale. Not according to scale, because we are not able to go here. That is why we are doing method of intersection. Point A here, and in this direction somewhere we have point B. And then again we will look towards point C. Okay. Now this point we can go. So we know, okay, this is C point here. We can measure the direction. We can know the direction by looking here and through the elided, marking the direction and measuring the distance and putting it in a proper scale. So we know A point, we know C point. We don't Okay, so sorry. There are so many network disturbances. Okay, so I'll start again a little bit more. We were here. So we had four different points. We were at point A. We were looking towards point B. We can know the direction, so we can mark this line. Then we can look towards this point also, the D point. We can know the direction, so we can mark the direction, but we do not know the distance exactly. But then we have A point and we have the C point. Again, we can look towards the C point, but here we can go to the C point. We can measure the distance of this C point. So we will measure the distance of this C point and we will draw it in a proper scale. Then the plane table moves to the C point. First, the C point on the map will be matched with the C point of the ground. Then we will look toward the A point. And this process is called backsighting because we have moved ahead with the work, but we are looking back to make sure that our surveying work is correct. So we will look back to A point. We will make sure that the EC on the map is correct, corresponding to the AC line on the field. Okay, we are at C point. We will look back at A point and so that this line is exactly same as this line. Okay, then we have these lines, right? We already have A to B line, A to D line like this. Then from this C point, after this is perfectly oriented, we will look towards the B point. Okay, done. Then we will look towards the D point like this. So this is called intersection. These intersecting lines will give us the correct position of the B point and D point on the map. Okay, then also if we join these 2 points, we will get this B point and D point. Then already we have drawn this map with the scale. With the help of that scale, we can also find out, okay, the BD line will be this much. We will measure this map distance, apply this scale, and we will be finding out the real distance between the point B and D. So this is called method of intersection. Then the third method is method of traversing. In the method of traversing, what will happen? Remember compass traverse. In compass traverse, we were changing the instrument at every station point. We were going from one point to next point, next point, measuring these bearings, etc. at every point. So same kind of thing may happen here also. So in traversing, what we have the plane table at one point, say A point, and then we have B point, C point, D point like this A point, say for example. So from this A point, we will draw this line, we will draw D line, we will draw C line. Then this plane table will go to the B point. In the B point, we have this plane table again. Then we already have B point. We will look back at A point. Again, we have to do backsighting. We have to look from B to A and make sure that the map line AB is perfectly matching with the ground line AB. Done. Then we have this point. Then we have this point. Now from B, we will draw our lines. Okay. From B, we will draw our lines. We will join B to D. We'll join B to C. And we will be taking corresponding offsets, all the objects, whatever is there nearby, we will measuring all those things. Okay. Then this may go to the C point. When it goes to the C point, the lines from the C will be checked and drawn. Okay. Then we will be measuring all the necessary points from this C point. So this way. So plane table is very easy, very basic.